How's it going? I'm back again, it's Charlie Pete here, welcome back to my channel. All I wanted to talk about was some of the solds that I've had in the past month or so. Just some of the interesting ones, obviously. I would talk about boring ones, but no one's here for that, eh? So, well, I'm just going to do a quick soul fade and just crack on with it, see how we're getting on. As always, I'm always trying to just show you and just try and show you like why I've picked stuff up as well, not just that it's sold. So, yeah, we can just talk about it and see what we can get out of it. And that's another thing as well. As you can see, it's a different room. This is the missus's room. She's in the shed that I normally use with the kids and stuff to playing outside. As it's dead hot out here now, so they've got a swimming pool out, which is having a bit of fun. It's a nice office. I might do a couple of videos in here as well because it's quite chill. I mean, there's not a lot in here. It's just nice and just quiet and it's beautiful. First up is this Itsu silk denim skirt. So I picked this up about, I can't remember now, about 4 or 5 months ago. What I noticed about it was it's just the pattern's sick. It's just like a really nice kind of like old art Japanese kind of style pattern. And one of the pictures I'll try and show it has got a selvage lining on the actual denim bit where the waistband is. So I just thought it's going to be an easy pickup. I think it cost about £9 in total. It was part of like a vintage bulk buy which I picked up. And in the end it sold for altogether £75. So it's £55 obviously the sell, and it's £20 for the American postage. So yeah, if you keep out lookout for just anything of Itsu, I just enjoy it. Like, it's one of those kind of brands as well you don't really see everywhere, like in high street. It's normally like reserved for places like Selfridges and like your posh shops and stuff. Next up are these Nike Total 90 boots. So when it comes to footy boots and stuff like that, I'm not like, to be fair, I'm not like the best with them because like it's kind of like a bit of a niche category in itself. But what I do look for all the time is the Total 90 range, as the Total 90 range kind of discontinued back in the early 2000s, I believe it was. What I normally do is if I see anything like a Nike Total 90 kind of football boot style, I always get intrigued by it and then I have to look further into it. So if you look on this, obviously this next picture here, if you look at the code, there's certain parts of this of these numbers which show you what year it was made and stuff. So in particular with these ones, if you see where I'll put a little square around, like put a little red square around it, but it will tell you, that tells you what year it was made. So in this case, these were made in 2000. Vintage, obviously it's like 21 years old now. Obviously the Total 90s. So they're the ones which are quite sought after. So these I picked up for a tenner about 3 months ago. I did have them listed quite high up, but I brought them back down again. So yeah, so I put these on at like 70, 80 quid. Someone made me an offer of like £60, so took that offer, which was a nice little offer. So yeah, obviously that last bit of the code obviously tells you, yeah, but that first few bits, those first 9 numbers, if you go on Google and say type in Nike and those numbers, it normally comes up with the shoe. Sometimes it ends up in a different language, but you kind of get a gist of what the shoe is because obviously they write the shoe in English most of the time. So then you can get a good idea, then you can check on eBay, see if you can get a decent understanding of what it is, and then obviously list it for a decent price. So 90s boots do really well, early 2000s boots do really well. So I was chuffed with these ones. They didn't hang around for too long, so yeah, I'm quite happy with them ones. So in my last video I talked about these. These are these Paramore Shots which I told you about. So I put them on, about 2 days ago, listed them, and within about 2 hours, 3 hours, they sold like immediately. And I think it was either I priced them a little bit too lower or just priced it right on the dot. Looking from all the past solds and the different comps and stuff, I think I put it right on that kind of marker where it was like a decent price, so then obviously they went quite quickly. But yeah, just obviously I talked about last week, there's just a nice enthusiast walking shorts, and yeah, they're just hard to find for a decent price. So obviously this guy took it straight off and just got off with him. Now, what's obviously a Chaddy Peters old video without an Adidas Firebird. So this was a jacket that I picked up a couple months ago. I always pick this up, as you know, I always go on about it. Every video I think I've got at least one Adidas Firebird in there. So obviously the Firebird is quite noticeable by the trefoil logo rather than like the pyramid logo. Obviously the styles are kind of high neck, kind of ode to like the classic pattern, but it's not actually vintage, if that makes sense. Pick this up. It's a nice, strong, obviously blue with the red stripe pattern. It kind of goes well with some of the shoes that obviously Adidas sell. I think like some specials are in blue and red and exact same colorway. So obviously I don't know if the person's like all slicked up like that, but they're loving it anyway. So yeah, I picked up for like 6 quid. Obviously sold for £40, as you can see. I'm always chuffed with these kind of sales. I'm always going to whip out a Firebird, so don't worry about it. So this Ed Hardy jacket is a bit of a bittersweet thing. So I picked it up for £10 and I had it listed for about 200 quid. and then I sold it to someone in America. And obviously got it all boxed up, sent it, and then the guy messaged me, just said, yo, this is way too small for me, it's not really listed properly, you didn't put... Anyway, got a bit mad about it. Anyway, I resolved the situation, it was all cool, but then obviously he sent it back, so I was a bit gutted that obviously I sold it for £200, and then obviously I had to get it refunded. It's again now sold for 110 in total, again to America. So this jacket's been to America more times this year than I have, so yeah, crack on, I guess. It's just a nice aviator style jacket. Obviously, when I saw it in the shop for a 10, I was like, that was an absolute steal. Obviously, if you see all obviously the embroidery work on it, it's just a proper like patriotic jacket. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm still happy with that price. I wish it was 200, but what can we do? But yeah, it's all good. I put this in my story. I was gonna put it as a post. Did I put it as a post? Yeah, it's a post on my Instagram on my Instagram page as well. So. This Ben 10 figure I found in a shop, and it was just in a bag full of other Ben 10 figures. When I used to sell toys quite routinely, and so I used to spend a lot of time researching different cartoon shows and stuff. So Ben 10 in this particular one, there's like 3 or 4 rare figures that they have which sell very well, and so obviously I spent a lot of time just learning about those kind of things. In particular, when I saw this one, obviously I picked it up. It's like £4 for the whole bundle. There is one other slightly rare one. It's not really rare, but I'm kind of missing a few pieces off it, so I won't be able to sell it for a lot, but again, it will pay for the whole bundle like 3, 4, 5 times over, so I can't really complain. Anyway, it's just one of these ones which is just so sought after. I think it got discontinued quite early on, so it's just one I always look out for. This one actually was missing a hand, so I normally can get a really good price for him. Normally I'm looking at like £60-70 for this one in particular, but because it was missing a hand and quite a few scuffs on it and stuff, I did put it on like 40. Someone offered me £27 in America. It went for like it went for £28. Someone offered me obviously £28 for it in America. I just took it because I thought there's no banging around with it. It's a broken toy, and someone's probably going to be so happy with it, they're going to be buzzed. So in total, it went for £48, and it's off to America. So next up are these Mindle boots. These are just like nice standard walking boots. I like selling walking boots because at the minute, like obviously, because not a lot of people are able to do stuff right now, walking is still and hiking is still quite a bit of the trendy pastime to do at the minute. Saw a car boot, and so I thought I'll just nip into the car boot and see what I got. Anyway, someone had a stall of like 4 items, and one of these items was these ones, and they sold me for £5. And I was like really surprised because they were brand new, like Gore-Tex lining, all that kind of stuff, real nice stuff. Anyway, I gave him to the missus for a while. She wore him a couple of times but didn't like him because they're quite stiff and you need to break him in, and she's not a hiker as such, so she thought we replaced them with some other boots, and she said you can sell these if you want. So I put them on. After about 3 or 4 days, they sold for full price, so I was dead chuffed with that. So when it comes to hiking boots, obviously Mindle is one of the higher ones. Like these would probably brand new sell for about brand new about 200 quid or something like that. They're quite the enthusiast, quite technical hiking boot. So me selling them for £75 is quite a steal for them, to be fair. But I just didn't want to hang around for ages trying to like sell them for 150 quid, 130 quid and stuff. So yeah, chuffed with that one. Obviously, as you notice, they are a little bit dirty. I tend to, I don't know. I know some people like to religiously clean all the boots, but because I'm not like really a shoe seller, I'll clean them to an extent, so they're not obviously like disgusting, but a hiker knows what they're getting. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna get muddy anyway, so they're not really like bothered. You could say, oh, could you get more for it? Probably could, maybe like £10-15 extra, but do you know what I mean? It's 5 into 75, I can't really complain. This is a Lola special. I like to call them Lola specials because she'll go out and find some absolutely incredible stuff. And in particular, this was a BCBG parachute dress. So I think it's a parachute dress. I know that kind of style's quite trendy in a minute. Anyway, regardless of the fact, I have no idea what it is. I literally, I couldn't even hang it. I had to ask Lola to hang it for me because I didn't know how it went. There's so many strings and so many. Sold for £50. Someone in America paid an extra £20 on top, and it went for 70 quid. Lola special, she's always whipping out these good ones. So yeah, I was chuffed with that one. She just told me list it, and I listed it, and it went for a really nice price. I always talk about Howies a lot of the time, so this is a Howies Mourinho t-shirt. Now, when it comes to the hiking world again, I always talk about it. Merino is gold. Merino wool is like, it's like the perfect base layer for hikers. It dries really quick. It takes all like the sweat out of you, keeps you warm, keeps you cool. It does everything. It's like, do you know what I mean? It just, the only thing it don't do is cookie tea. The Howies Merino stuff will always sell really well. Always look out for Merino wool. When I go out, a lot of the time, I'm always looking out for Merino wool. Especially if it's hiking. If it's like a casual jumper wear, like going out in town or something, they don't really sell as well as like the hiking stuff. So yeah, keep an eye out for this stuff. It's really good. This Jinko hoodie I mentioned in a few videos ago. Obviously it was just like a really nice pattern, quite rare to find. Early 2000s actually, a bit Slipknot kind of esque to it. Anyway, as I went to kind of like obviously list it and stuff and take pictures of it, I noticed there's quite a few stains on it, so it's a bit gutting to be fair, because I know I could have sold it for a little bit more. But anyway, this sold for like 50 quid, which isn't a bad price still. Obviously I picked it up for like 7-8 quid, so I can't really complain. It's just a nice jumper. If I ever saw it again, I'll pick it up, but most of the time I think the most expensive thing you can sell is the jeans. There's a lot of Facebook groups and Facebook groups that are dedicated to Jinko in itself. So it could, for next time, if I do find something else like that, I might actually stick on one of these Facebook groups instead of just putting on eBay, and maybe save myself a few quid on like fees and postage and stuff like that. Here's another one which I was buzzing off. This is a vintage Star Trek Voyager t-shirt. So yeah, I found about 3 or 4 t-shirts. One was like this really nice Batman one I found, and a couple Star Trek tees. And I looked, obviously you got the date there, it's like 1998. Absolute beauty. Over here in England, we're not like as forthcoming with buying like these kind of stuff. I don't know, like we're not into our t-shirts as much as the Americans are. So anyway, so I had this listed on like 50, 60 quid or something like that. I reduced it down. No, in fact, someone made me an offer of £35, and they're in America, so it worked out again like £55. But yeah, I just thought it cost me like 2 quid. I can't really complain. So yeah, I was happy with that one. It's just a shame, like, because like I love selling t-shirts. Dead easy to sell, easy to pack, easy to ship, and always got their own character to them and stuff like that. But I feel like I need to go and do a quick mooch to America somewhere and just sell stuff, because like I need to get out of my system. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got like this thing in my system. I need to sell t-shirts, like, and just be a t-shirt seller for the right, and just like live in a barn or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's just me going on a tangent. So Abercrombie and Fitch. I will never understand how this one sells in particular. So these are a pair of Abercrombie and Fitch cargo shorts, and they sold for £40. I picked them up for like 3 quid. I couldn't tell you why they sell. I know at one point David Beckham wore a pair of these, and I think since then they've just been, I don't know, in style. I don't know. I struggle to sell Abercrombie and Fitch in general, but I remember one day I was just looking through one of my shops, and I saw a couple of these shorts, and I thought to myself, I need to know what actually sells in Abercrombie, rather than just assuming that none of it sells. Like I picked up t-shirts, I picked up shirts before when I first started quite early on, and like they sold for like nothing. And so I decided just to do a bit of research, and it turns out like these cargo shorts do really well, and there's a couple of jackets that do quite well as well. So yeah, I'll always pick up these shorts anytime I see them. And so yeah, they went for a nice price again, £40. I think these went to Germany in particular, so they paid like an extra £10, £11, something like that for it to get there. So this is a different one. So did I talk about this one? What about? Probably. I can't remember. I must have messaged it somewhere. Anyway, I was in a vintage wholesale kind of digging about, and I found this particular piece. Absolute beauty. It's Dale of Norway or Dali of Norway. I'm not sure which way you meant to pronounce it. Anyway, Nordic wool. It's a beast. It's made in Norway, like hand knitted kind of thing. It's got all these nice little details on it as well. I did get an offer for about £70 for someone in America, and so I thought I'll take that. Yeah, that'll be fine. It's just a nice one to pick up whenever you see Dale. Anyway, yeah, whenever you see this type of jumper, it's just a nice jumper to pick up. You can tell it's super quality just from picking it up, like the detail of it as well. The Nordic pattern, the Fair Isle kind of, that whole Scandinavian pattern always does really well. And probably if I waited until like winter time, I probably could have sold it for a bit more. But I'm not gonna pass up on that kind of price. So yeah, very nice one. Just a nice, easy one to sell again. Now Hugo Boss is one that it's one of them. It's like a weird one. All of it sells quite well, but what I find sells the best are the jeans in particular. So these ones were the Hugo Boss main jeans. Obviously, if you look inside, it'll tell you which one it is. So in particular, these ones were the main ones. So there's ones like Arkansas, Alabama. Obviously, this one's Maine. There might be a couple more. I'm not too sure. I always pick up Hugo Boss jeans if they've got a name on them. I don't really pick them up if they haven't got any names. I picked these up for £6. they sold for full price, like immediately for 40 quid. There's not much to say about them, just a nice pair of jeans. People like them. But that's it, you know what I mean? 40 quid, easy. Got these Camper Pelotas shoes. I know, it's Pelotas, I think it's shoes in Spanish, isn't it? Got these camper shoes. Camper's really popular. It's, before reselling, I never even heard of it, to be fair, but it's one of them, it's a bit of a niche kind of brand. Particularly these ones are a bit of a weird pattern, like the treads, like it's all like yeah, it's just a weird tread pattern on the bottom. But again, it's a really popular style. Normally for me, when I pick these up, they tend to go to Spain or Germany. They don't really stay in the UK too much. I think these ones actually went to France, and so they paid £40 with a little bit on top. So yeah, just campers are really good. They're just I'm trying to think like how to describe them. It's like half hiking but half casual. Now when the missus, now in fact again, this is another Lola special, she saw them in one of the shops she always goes to, and they're priced at £20. And she came home and told me, oh, I've seen these campers in one of these shops for £20, but I'm gonna wait. And she waited for about 2 months. She go in that shop quite regularly, and for the last 2 months it was £20, it went down to 15, then it went down to 10, and then finally she picked them up when they were £5. So yeah, diligence always pays off. I ain't gonna pay £20 for it, there's no point, but again, you just encourage them, don't you? You start encouraging these shops to start like upping the prices and stuff. So yeah, we just waited and it sold quite nicely. So yeah, you can't really complain about that one. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm just planning now just to get some more listings done. I've got a whole bag of stuff ready to go. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please like and please subscribe to this channel because I'll be doing some more videos as always. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in. I'll be back soon. So yeah, take care and peace out.